Hey there, hot takers. Welcome to another episode of Hallmark Hot Takes.
Season 4, Episode 4.
Episode 4, yes. So where we watch, rate, and review all of the countdown to Christmas movies from the Hallmark channel. And any rating system needs some sort of rules. So how do we rate these, Jay?
It's a candy cane based rating system. Starting at half a candy cane for something that is horrible, up to 5 candy canes, which is holiday bliss.
Knock your socks off.
Add them together, and we get a score between 1 and 10 candy canes.
And as Jason said, that's based on how much we liked or disliked this movie. So, episode 4 recaps Christmas by Design, starring Rebecca Dalton and Jonathon Keltz. So we are going to meet Charlotte, a New York City boutique owner and designer of expensive luxury clothing, who has her shop sort of destroyed by a water main break in the building, sending her back to the town of Brooks Bend for Christmas. Now, Charlotte
in Connecticut.
Is it in Connecticut?
It is in
Okay,
Connecticut.
well, look good. See, I didn't know where it was. Now, Charlotte has put her whole heart and soul into this boutique, and she's like, I don't know, a couple of months away from getting kicked out of her building. So she, her seamstress enters her in this contest to design for Warwick, which is a big fashion home designer person. She's going to have a big thing due on Christmas Eve, a Christmas Eve fashion show where she could win a chance to design a line for a year for this thing.
Right.
So she goes home to Connecticut, and we find that her father has passed away, and this has been really hard on Charlotte. And while she's there, she literally runs into Spencer, who is a recent widower and the town mechanic. And he is being chased by all of the eligible bachelorettes of Brooks Bend. And so so that she could get inspiration for her, what is supposed to be a home and family Christmassy design, she agrees to go to events with Spencer. That is the Elfcapades, which is a series of events started by her father.
12 days events.
So they go to these events and they spend time together, and she's working on her designs for this fashion show, and she decides she's going to do some pajamas, and her and Spencer, kind of get cozy with one another, until Spencer overhears her telling her friend that, she's never going to work between them because he's just a small town boy and she's a big city gal. Of course, he doesn't hear the whole rest of the conversation, so they get into a fight. And then she takes the pajamas that she made with her dad's old coveralls and goes to New York, and then decides she's going to drop out of the competition because she wants to be at home with her family. And she goes back to Brooks Bend, and her and Spencer apologize to each other, and they kiss. And she reunites with her family, and she somehow wins the competition she didn't even appear in, and gets a line at this Warwick fashion thing, and everybody's happy at the end, and that is Christmas by Design.
Fantastic.
It was not a good recap.
Well, I thought it was good.
All right, let's move on to the ratings.
All right. You ready?
I think so. So we are going to rate this movie done by likes and dislikes. Where are we going first?
Oh, your call today.
Let's do... well, we could do dislikes.
Okay, dislikes.
So her shop gets destroyed by this water main break.
Yes.
And it's very catastrophic, which I can see because some of her stuff gets ruined.
Okay.
She doesn't have insurance? I felt like she should have had insurance.
She might have.
But
I just don't know how
I feel like
insurance
she
works
would've-
with priceless things.
Yeah.
Like it's boutiqued hard clothing. Like
She
I
doesn't
don't
have to
know.
have insurance.
I know, but they might just give you like the cost of the stuff.
Well,
back.
that would
And then
be
you gotta
better than nothing.
I know, but then you still have to remake everything. Like she's not gonna be able to remake it and
She would still
sell it.
have the inventory to make stuff.
The material.
Yeah, the material.
But she wouldn't be able to like make it and sell it and keep the rent. Like she's still gonna be quite behind.
Well, I agree, but listen, I'm just saying. No, anyhow, she didn't seem like she had insurance, and I thought that was not good. So for the first while of this movie, she's a bit unlikable.
Yeah, she's a B, is what I
She
have.
was kind of, so she didn't want to go home because you found out the reason later was because she was really missing and grieving her father. And you got that, but they didn't like front load enough of that where you understood why she was just kind of being a distant jerk to everybody she knew. Yep. And so it took a while to really like her in this movie.
Yeah. She was a jerk to Rick.
Yes, she was. Awkward. She was a jerk to Rick, who is her mom's new husband. Yes. And just for no reason, and I get it, like, she's trying to take her father's place or whatever, but she was just very unlikable for a good portion of this movie. The Elfcapades. So I like the idea of the Elfcapades, but it was kind of weird because they made a big deal about the Elfcapades being her father's thing and his legacy. And the town was stopping it because they were deciding they were not going to fund the Elfcapades events anymore. So then they decide like an hour and 10 minutes into the movie that they should save the Elfcapades. But they don't ever actually do anything to save the Elfcapades, and it still is unresolved at the end of the movie. So I thought that was a miss.
Didn't get that. I said, what happened to the Elfcapades? Like, I would have liked to see like a year later something happened, and like, they kept them somehow. Or,
something happened, but it totally dropped the storyline completely.
Nope.
Spencer somehow buys. Her father was a tow truck driver.
Yes.
He somehow finds and buys her father's old tow truck.
Yes, in this day or two.
Like this is only a 5-day span this movie takes place in. So I need to know how and why. Like, he bought it to fix it up, but where has it been the whole time? He said he found it online on a junker site.
On the line.
And how in the world did he come across?
It's the internet.
This truck that he knew was her dad's, first of all. And second of all, they get in the truck and his coveralls are still in there? That was just a little bit amazing to me. I felt like that was suspending a little disbelief on my part. She should not have pulled out of the show. It was a silly reason to pull out of the show. I get that the whole thing was she hasn't been home for her family. She didn't come home or really was there when her dad was sick, which was a big sticking point with the sister. So I kind of got it, but her family wasn't like urgently, you need to be at this event. Your father would be disappointed if you weren't at this event. They were all kind of like, no, just come home for Christmas Day. It'll be fine. And I felt like she didn't really need to pull out of the event.
This was a symbol.
It was her grand gesture, I think.
That she's changed and family's number one.
But I didn't see the sense of urgency
You're not a designer.
The I love yous after 5 days.
Yeah,
that
was awkward.
Spencer and Charlotte both said I love you. It was a little bit much.
He's like torn on just like falling for someone.
Right, like he's going to move on from his dead wife.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I love you. It's like,
right, like,
okay
then.
Are you going to propose in the next scene? 'Cause
what were your dislikes?
I hated the I love you after 5 days.
Yeah,
like,
it was a little bit much.
Like the stakes weren't there. It was just, wow.
Right.
It's an all-in
There was
move.
no sense of urgency.
I hate this classic hear half the story freak out bit we do at the Hallmarks.
But I will say they did that. So when he overheard that and then walked away halfway through and didn't hear the rest of the conversation, he confronts her about it and she doesn't let him, or he doesn't let her keep talking, but she does anyway and fixes it so that it's not just a misunderstanding. Like, I thought that was going to spiral way too long.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
I need to know about the Elfcapades. That really bothered me. I don't know. There's 12 days. I only saw like 3 or 4 of the day. Like, it was I was wondering if you really needed it at all.
You didn't.
And this whole ex-boyfriend thing that was in there, like, that was kind of a weird aspect
had a weird time. Because he was the one, he's the mayor now, so he was the one who was canceling the Elfcapades. It was just a tie-in that didn't...
There's a couple extra story pieces that I just don't know if they needed.
That didn't need to be there. And if you would have spent more time on her in the beginning, making her more likable, I think it would have been a better story.
All right, what about likes? Let's go to the likes side.
I like that Spencer used the term hard pass. Very fond of that saying.
Was it about him going to New York or about being in New York?
About being a New Yorker. He said
okay.
Hard pass. I thought the bachelor joke, because he's, the town's most eligible bachelor, and all these women are chasing him. And she says, so who are you going to be giving your final rose to at the end of the night? And I thought that was funny.
That was fine. That was good.
I actually, she's a lefty, by the way. If you didn't notice.
Okay, that's on the likes side.
It's on the likes list, because fellow lefty.
Okay.
I like the mistletoe kiss.
Oh, the race.
So they were in a competition, and she won bingo against her ex-boyfriend. So they both won this big stuffed bear. So then they had to do a tiebreaker. So the first person who could find somebody to kiss under the mistletoe won the bear. So Spencer came up and just kind of planted one on her, and I thought that was good.
Yeah, I like that. It's a nice kiss nice kiss for the bear is what I put.
Yes. I liked their fight.
Things got real.
Things did get real between Spencer and Charlotte, because he was mad at her because he thought that she thought that he was just a small town hick. And then she basically called her out and said, "You're getting mad at me because you are not ready to move on from your wife and you don't know what you want. So get your crap together." And then the sister dropped some truth on Charlotte about how, hey, you're lashing out at everybody and you don't want to be around your family because you're grieving about dad,
right,
and you need to get your crap together. And I really appreciated that. And I thought the kiss at the end was good.
Yeah, everything just got real. She spilled the coffee. Coffee got spilled on the pajamas that were supposed to be
when it went sideways.
Went sideways. They played Pictionary.
Jason loves Pictionary.
Spencer being the ladies' man, I thought that was fantastic. A classic plug for Chevy. Chevy trucks. It was a big Chevrolet truck.
Well, Spencer even does say when he's going, this is the car that was built for the American family.
And then the front, she runs into him, and then he's like, "Well, I think I'm pretty good. There's no damage." And then she looks at hers and she just touches it, and the whole front end falls off. Yeah, that was fantastic. And I thought she was cute as a button.
She was cute as a button. Once she stopped being a bee, she was cute as a button. And I like Spencer. I thought he was a good character.
Yeah. Cool. What about the candy canes?
I'm a little torn. This one took a while for me to get into. I ultimately ended up liking it, but it took me a good hour to get there. I really, really wish they would have, what they did in the last half hour of this movie was fantastic.
Yes, it was great.
So if they would have made that the focus of the entire movie, this would have really been a good movie. Okay. But they didn't. They just filled it with a lot of stuff that, again, didn't need to be there. Right. So I am going to give this movie 3 candy canes.
3 candy canes.
3 candy canes. It was okay. It was a middle of the roader for me.
It had Pictionary. She was cute as a button. You're giving it 3 candy canes.
What are you giving it?
I thought it was pretty good.
It took a while, though.
Yeah. I'm going to give it 4.
What?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, 4. That's a 7.
That is a generous rating.
I liked it.
Okay.
It was 7.
Okay. I think that was generous, but I'm glad that you liked it.
I don't question your rating. You gave that other one a 1.
You gave it something worse.
Yeah, because it was worse. It needed to belong in the hell.
Listen.
All right, preview time?
Yes.
What's up next, Hyde?
Next up.
Don't bang the pencil. We've gotten comments about that. We've gotten feedback.
No, we haven't. That was one Marianne. It was 4 years ago.
Yeah, she didn't like it.
Listen.
Right. What's next?
Mystic Christmas, starring Chandler Massey and Jesse Schramm.
We don't talk about Chandler.
Yeah. So we just got the news that Matthew Perry passed away, and it's very affecting the Hot Takes crew.
Yeah, I'm sad.
I'm sad too.
The whole crew is upset.
The whole crew is upset.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
I'm very sad. I don't
Rip Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
So, Mystic Christmas. Juniper travels to Mystic, Connecticut. Juniper? Come on. It's not a real name. During the holidays to work
Jupiter, maybe.
To work at a rehabilitation center and aquarium where she reconnects with Sawyer, the owner of a pizza shop. That's it. That's all that we know about this movie.
What's it
really
called?
gotta say,
Mystic Pizza?
Hallmark needs to work on their write-ups because these are not great.
I don't know enough about this to know if I'd want to watch it. If I wasn't already having to watch 30 of these.
Right. So, she goes to work at an aquarium and reconnects with the pizza shop owner. Sounds like a real barn burner, Hallmark. Spice it up a little. Yeah. I'm just saying. I'll write them for you if you want me to.
Because it's Mystic Christmas. It could be like Mystic Pizza. It's like magical pizza.
Maybe that's what they're going for.
But I think it's Mystic, Connecticut. So it's just the place.
Right, but I don't know.
It's not
I don't know.
magical.
Juniper. And I don't know. She has an aggressive haircut, but we'll see how this goes.
Oh boy, we don't comment on people's looks.
Listen.
All right.
Okay, this
Next
is going
time.
too long. We'll see you.